Benny, bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone! I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Let me explain something to you. I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude.
No one is to stone anyone until I blow this whistle.
You can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Lord, you can imagine where it goes from here.
3, 2, 1, and we're on. Welcome back to the Zedos Game Podcast. I am Joseph Buchanan. This is a podcast where we talk about films and stuff. And joining me, as always, is Mr. Sacha Allari. How you doing?
Hey.
It's been a couple of weeks. No, just 1 week. That you weren't on the show.
Yeah.
Well, I can't remember why you weren't.
I can't remember why I went.
Oh yeah, you lost. You had like an issue with your phone.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, the phone thing.
Yeah, the phone issue.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see you have a nice shiny new phone there.
That is right.
Awesome. Is it doing you well?
Yeah.
Keeping its nose clean.
Yeah, it's all good. It's
okay,
all good.
Awesome. Before we start, I just wanted to ask you about this whole. What was it? It was the Inhumans Imax fiasco.
Well, what happened there? I didn't read up on it.
There's no. It was just that the show looks bad.
Right.
We shouldn't have been really put in IMAX.
Oh,
and
okay.
It's that first episode got a panning. I mean, if you're going to put anything in IMAX, you put something like Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
In there because it's a quality program. But just looking at the Inhumans, it looked like a really bad Star Trek adaptation.
Oh really?
Just looking at the suits.
I know. The trailer just looked really cheap. You know what I mean? Like I only saw the trailer once, and I was just like, I was more excited when it was on their movie slate, kind of thing, because that was supposed to be the movie that came after Infinity War.
Right.
But then it just disappeared, and then it became a TV show. Be quite honest, like I don't really know much about Inhumans because they've only been about like in the past 20 years or 10 years or whatever. They're relatively new, like, you know, in terms of Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
Array of characters, and the whole point of them making Inhumans is because they were trying to phase out the X-Men, which is dumb.
Yeah, so it's very weird, cannibalizing.
Well, it's Ike's way of trying to get the rights back, which is dumb. Okay, it's like Fox are making bank on X-Men.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and that's fine. That's fine for Fox, etc. Ike wants the rights back, and he's just not giving them the merchandise. Or whatever. It's to do with merchandising and all of this kind of shit, and it's really Marvel not paying ball there. You know what I mean? But not like Kevin Feige, more the CEO of Marvel.
So he kind of wants to bury X-Men.
Kind of thing, because like it's not making him a dime.
Right.
You know what I mean? Well, it does, comic book wise, but if you look at the other IPs, they're killing it. You know what I mean? But this is why I think it's a bad thing that they do that to X-Men, because X-Men, let's face it, was their flagship. That and Spider-Man were their flagships throughout the whole of the 1990s and early 2000s. You know what I mean? Like, why kill why would you kill your golden goose?
Yeah, I don't know.
Especially,
he seems to know more than us.
Especially like when it comes to like action figures and like comic books. Comic books are in decline. You want to sell books, sell X-Men. X-Men is hot. You know what I mean? Like, fair enough, you ain't making a movie, but you're still getting a paycheck every time Fox makes one for you. How about you stop being a dick and just sort out something with Fox so it connects with your MCU and shit, and like fix shit. But you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying something that sounds easy from an outsider's perspective, but I'm sure the legal wranglings and whatnot will probably make me say otherwise, because you know I'm not that educated in how shit works down at you know the house that Stan built, but you know.
Well, I want to talk about connected universes shortly in terms of DC and whatnot. But yeah, let's go straight into this, and we'll start off with Han Solo. So yeah, just scouring the news, and it looks like Michael K. Williams he had a part in this film. If you don't know who Michael K. Williams is, he was in what's that show called? The Wire. And he's in another show on Amazon at the moment. But I don't understand why they've replaced his character or dropped his character, but it clearly wasn't working for the way Ron Howard wants to shoot this film.
No, reason why he put up a statement why it was a case of he'd done his roles. He'd done his role. He still had like a bit of reshoots to do, but only a little bit. But the thing is, because they are doing like they're taking the tone of the movie in a different direction to what Lord and Miller did, it meant they had to reshoot scenes with his character in, which meant his time on set would have had to be longer than what was originally agreed. And the thing was, he's got like a TV show or something.
Yeah, Happy Leonard.
That's it, and it's across, you know, continents kind of thing. He can't make that work in his schedule due to that, so he's had to step away from Star Wars because of his TV commitments. So that's why they've taken a step back and recast the character. It was nothing to do with his body of work or whatnot. It was just, unfortunately, it was a scheduling issue.
His body of work?
No, as in like his work as an actor on the Han Solo movie.
Right,
that's what
right.
Yeah,
okay,
that's what I meant by that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was never a case of, he was shit, so we need to get him out, or he isn't working. His character was quite integral, so they had to recast.
Well, on top of that, you've got Paul Bettany in there,
which is a completely different actor.
Yeah.
But then there could be like multiple different reasons for that. I mean, like it may not even be the same character. They might have liked his performance and decided, you know what, we're going to make another character doing the same things, but like, you know what I mean? Maybe we might use this guy again for a future product, you know, because Lucasfilm turned around and said they wish him all the best and they loved what he'd done for them from what they've shot. So, do you know what I mean? Maybe it could be that, or maybe it just is a case of they could get anyone and they just figured, hey, let's try Paul Bettany out. You know what I mean? Because nothing's set in stone. This isn't like a legacy character or something. You know what I mean? Where this is what it is and it has to be this way. You know what I mean? They can go nuts because at the moment it's just writing on a page.
So what character do you think Paul Bettany is then?
I don't fucking know. Maybe a slug. In that case, if he's a creature, then anyone can play him. This is fucking Star Wars.
Then why announce Paul Bettany?
What do you mean?
He's got to be someone of significance, so there's no point saying that he's in it if you don't see him.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, Simon Pegg was like a big thing. So,
I didn't know Simon Pegg was in it until till he was in the actual
the making of thing.
That slide, that whatever they had, that sizzle reel.
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of like, I'm really intrigued to see the Han Solo's one of that, if that makes sense. The what's it? The Last Jedi one was quite cool, but I think the Rogue One and the Force Awakens one, they were really kind of like, oh my god. But now it's become like the standard thing they put out, isn't it?
Sizzle reels.
Yeah, the sizzle reels. I quite enjoy them. But yeah.
I mean, it gives the audience something without giving them anything.
Yeah.
So it's, hey, yeah, you all the people that you knew in this film are in this sizzle reel, but they're just doing stuff.
I just want to see like stuff with Aidan Ehrenreich in the role.
I don't think you'll see that till the trailer.
Yeah, I just want to see like, you know, like what his Han Solo is like, kind of thing, just to get a knack for it. Because at the moment, like, I have kind of been a big advocate and saying like this isn't the one I'm looking forward to, but you know I can't really judge that without seeing the damn thing. So you know, but if anything, that stuff would get me excited. But you know, Paul Bettany's got work. I mean, for a guy whose career was hanging at a thread. I don't know whether you heard this, Joe, but like there's an interview that he said right after Age of Ultron. He was on Graham Norton, and basically he was saying that he had a conversation with this agent and someone else at a studio in Hollywood, and they said his career is finished, and he was at that point where no one would cast him for stuff, kind of thing. And they said you're only good for voiceovers because he was Jarvis in the Iron Man movies. Like, yeah, you're never gonna get like proper work, blah, blah, blah. And then they cast him as fucking
Vision. and
then since then he's been getting work again, left, right, and centre. So,
I mean, the first thing I ever saw him in was Gangster Number One. That was back in 2000, 2001, I think. Yeah. And he played a younger version of gosh, I can't remember the actor's name. The guy that killed Kirk in one of the Star Trek films.
Malcolm McDowell.
Yes.
Yeah.
He played it really well.
Oh yeah.
The film wasn't great, but he played a younger version of that actor really well.
If I remember correctly, that was like back in the day when every British movie was a gangster film. Because it was just trying to get the Snatch thing, and coming off the Guy Ritchie
and
Lock,
Layer
Stock
Cake
kind of thing.
and yeah.
Well, to be quite honest, out of all of them, I think Layer Cake is the only one that kind of like, which wasn't by Guy Ritchie, that had the feel, but then it was by Matthew Vaughn. So you know, and it was the same. I think it might have been the same writers. No, it wouldn't have been the same writers because Guy Ritchie writes his own movies. So what am I talking about? But no, Layer Cake was really, really good.
Yeah, I can't remember Layer Cake that well, but I remember it being funnier than it should have been.
Yeah.
It had a very dark comedy element to it.
Do you recall that they were making a movie which was not a sequel, it would have been a prequel to Layer Cake, and it was the same character, but Jason Statham was going to play the role.
Right.
Rather than Daniel Craig. Mm-hmm. But I don't know whether that movie's been canned or whatnot, but it's one of those stories you see on the Hollywood Reporter and stuff. It just keeps like resurfacing kind of thing.
Okay. How could I don't understand how he could play that character younger. That makes no sense.
I don't know either. Well, I don't know. I'm assuming he's younger because otherwise he's dead.
Well, why
he dies at the end?
Why get Jason Statham to play a younger version of that character?
Don't know.
They're pretty much the same age.
It makes no sense.
No. But anyway, whatever Ron Howard's doing with Han Solo, I'm sure. I like Ron Howard as a director.
Yeah.
So I'm actually looking forward to it more now than I was before, because Ron Howard has a tone with his films that will give it. And because he's in the same camp as Lucas and everyone else, I think he'll do a good job with that. But yeah, more news on that as it comes. Okay, here comes the interesting piece of news, or weird piece of news. So all this DCU stuff that's been going on, that we're making loads of multiple Elseworld films.
Well, I haven't really looked into this for a bit, but go on, say what you're going to say.
So they're making loads of, just on the rumour mill, they're saying, we're going to make this film with the Joker in it. It was a different character, but him going through his adolescent years. And, we're going to have another Joker film, but directed by Scorsese. And I was listening to the John Campea podcast the other day, and he's the only one that said that it's a good idea. And his reasoning for it was a little bit weird. He said that people will understand what Joker film they're watching, or what. I don't want to misquote him here or paraphrase him, but he seemed to like the idea. And am I the only one that thinks this is not a good idea? I mean, they want Leonardo DiCaprio, or their ideal candidate would be Leonardo DiCaprio for this produced
Scorsese,
Scorsese produced film. And just in saying that, and how many ideas they have for Joker films or other films inside or outside that universe, it's just going to confuse things. People are going to have their favourites, and they're not going to want to see one from over another. That's the way I feel, because that's the way. I mean,
well, here's the thing. I mean, like, there are many versions of Macbeth.
Sure.
There's a Les Miserables every 10 years.
Sure, but
literally. There's a Les Mis every 10 years.
Yeah, but there wasn't a Les Miserables that was made like a year before, which is a part of a continuity that is carrying on.
Yeah.
Which outside of that, there is another one that isn't part of the continuity that references the same things from that film, but isn't part of the same film.
I know what they're doing. All I know is it's all reactionary. And no offense, Neil, man, I know you're listening, bro, but they don't have a frickin' plan. They don't have a plan. It's all reactionary. They don't know what they're doing. But I'm not gonna lie, the Joker film with Scorsese producing and DiCaprio as the Joker, I'd actually want to see that.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
It's a great idea. I'm sure it'll be an okay movie. And I hope it's a great standalone movie and not connected to anything that they've established already, because it can't be.
Okay, so my issue is,
I would get it.
My issue is why do this now? They've been fighting tooth and nail to fist this whole universe down our throats. It's like, actually, there's this other thing over here.
Yeah, I think they should have released this instead of the Green Lantern movie a few years back. Like, because that would have been the perfect time to have done it. Yeah. I don't know, man. It seems I'm for one, I'm sick of it, and it's making me feel I'm not even excited for Justice League.
Yeah,
you were never on board.
I mean, despite the fact that I liked Wonder Woman. Yeah. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Yeah. And then this whole Ben Affleck fiasco with the whole. Is he going to be in it? Is he not going to be in it? Is this Batman going to be in a separate universe or in this universe?
Well, it's in this universe. They've announced it.
That's great. But now they just keep putting fire on the flame, saying, "Hey, we're gonna. There's all these joke ideas that we want to do. There's these other films that we want to do as well. And we also want to do Suicide Squad as well with the original, with the Jared Leto Joker.
Would it feel better if like they had one guy, like a Kevin Feige guy, going, "This is what we're actually fucking doing," rather than
no? To be honest,
stuff.
I would have rather them just do a film, do a Wonder Woman film, do a Superman film, do a Batman film, and then if they would have the choice to either converge those universes or not.
Yeah.
But because they've forced this down our throats, hey, this is part of a larger universe, and we're getting that Justice League film now, and now they're saying, hey, actually, there's this other thing over here that we want you to watch, but still be invested in this universe, and with all the stuff that's on TV, all the EW stuff. What do you want people to be invested in? Because people still aren't invested in this Flash, the film version of the Flash. Yeah, people are still like, and
I kind of, you know what? I don't have I thought I'd have a problem with the Kid Flash, but then watching the trailers, he's probably the best part of it for me, because like I like the Flash. Mm-hmm. I see where they're going with it from a comic book kind of perspective. Fair enough. The show, I haven't seen the latest season of the show. I've only seen seasons 1 and 2, and yeah, man. But I know you're not a CW fan, but CW and the Flash, it works in terms of the tone of the character. You know what I mean? Doesn't quite work with Arrow. Sorry, Arrow fans, but like I was there with 1 and 2. But personally, I think Daredevil came out and did it better. And just what? You know what I mean? I just think Arrow just got really campy. It got into that whole CW flair. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like in a time when it needed to go more dark to compete with what Marvel were doing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And now I hear they're trying to do that, but it just left too much of a big stink for me. You know what I mean? If they wanted to get me back watching Arrow again, just fucking do Supermax, man. Just fucking have him release his fucking identity to a whole fucking world. Have him go to fucking jail. Throw him in Arkham. Have him to have a whole season set in Arkham Asylum with fucking Green Arrow there with the convicts trying to like fuck over Oliver Queen, and he's got outsmart. You know what I mean? I would watch that show because then you get to meet all of the greatest DC fucking, you know, villains in jail. You could have the Joker, you could have Penguin, you know what I mean? I would watch that as a TV show. That would be sick, personally.
Isn't that called like Gotham?
It would be like Prison Break.
Isn't it called Gotham?
Fuck that show. I hate that show. Which is another little elsewhere universe there.
This is what I mean. It's so convoluted.
But then at the same time, we've gotten to a point where audiences, okay, fair enough, not the everyman, but, you know, fans of this stuff, or people are a little bit more comic book smart these days. They know that, oh, Gotham's its separate thing, and then you got the movie version. You know what I mean? People get that there's a Flash on TV and a Flash in Justice League. You know what I mean? It's not like how it was 10 years ago, where it was like, what, Tom Welling is the Superman? You know what I mean? Like, we're not getting that anymore. You know what I mean? We are to a little extent, but not...
Yeah, we've got multiple Supermans now.
Yeah, we got more... Yeah, but then, you know, they could fix that. 616... No, that's Marvel. Sorry, Earth 2, baby. But, like, you know, I don't know.
Don't get me started into the whole Earth 2, Earth 3 and whatever. I don't know.
It's a fix, man. It's a different universe.
The thing
it's like
is...
Back to the Future.
No, I get that. But the way... I don't know, it just seems so corny from DC side of it.
Look, I agree with you. They should have just... Look, Man of Steel was a bold attempt. It was a good attempt, I felt. Like, I know you had issues with the movie, but I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? It wasn't my Superman, but for a modern day version of Superman, I was interested to see where they would go with Man of Steel 2. BVS also had me very interested and very hyped because I thought they were going to do great things with it. Unfortunately, they didn't, and like my love for that movie died with like that final trailer. You know what I mean? The minute they showed Doomsday in the trailer, I was out. I dropped mic and left. You know what I mean? I knew it was going to be shit. And then when I saw it, it was one of those rare occasions where I knew it was going to be shit and it was worse than what I thought it would be. You know what I mean? It was like, oh my God, my eyeballs. Do you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck am I watching? And the only bit that I liked in BVS was when fucking Ben Affleck took out all those guys in the room. But by the time that came on the film, it was a little too late. You know what I mean? Because they'd already fucked it up. You know what I mean? Like, Martha! It's like, come on, man.
Oh, jeez, I forgot about that.
How can you forget about that? It's like...
I've only seen the film once.
So have I. It's just like, they bring you up to the fight that everyone's been waiting to see. And to be quite honest, it started off good. It started off exactly how I thought it would start off. He'd weaponized the kryptonite, and it made sense, and I was cool with that. But you left us bored for 2 hours of talk and gave us 8 minutes of a fucking fight. Only for him to go, Martha, why are you saying her name? It's like, fuck's sake, that fight should have went on for at least 20 minutes.
Or there should have been more than one encounter.
Yeah, totally. Should have been more than one encounter. In terms of that version of Superman versus Batman versus Superman, because they clearly weren't doing the Dark Knight Returns.
Right.
Because if they were, it'd be Michael Keaton up in that suit as an old Batman in that big massive suit, probably be more chunky and shit, beating the shit out of Superman. But you know what I mean? Like, we can't get that version. We were never going to get that version. So you know what I mean? Like, we have to make do with a older grizzly Ben Affleck. But you know, it's they're franchising. You know what I mean? They're franchising. They're not doing a one-off kind of fucking movie here. But I mean,
it looks like that now.
Well, you know what? If they did that with Justice League, they did this with Justice League, where Justice League was like, you know that last movie, pretend that never happened. This is the true sequel to Man of Steel.
The only company that's managed to get away with that successfully is Fox with X-Men.
Yeah, and that was that was hard. But you know what? I think they're gonna do that with fucking Flashpoint. They're gonna do a Days of Future Past with that. My only problem with that, they only get one chance at that. And not only do they get one chance at that, like, that should have been a Justice League movie in itself rather than a Flash movie. I would have preferred to have had a Flash standalone movie than just go jump into Flashpoint. Don't get me wrong, Flashpoint's an awesome storyline, but it serves, for me, it serves the universe better as a DCU film. As a Justice League film rather than a... You know what I mean? They could have built this up just like Marvel, like you said. They could have done the Superman movie, the Wonder Woman movie, the Batman movie. You know what I mean? Hell, they could have just went, fuck you, Nolan. We're just going to work within what's successful. You know what I mean? Because that's a universe established. It's quite well received. Let's add the supernatural element into it. Do you know what I mean?
It's their property. I don't know why they listen to Nolan and saying that.
Yeah, and you know, people can disagree with me because I know a lot of comic book fans are like, Nolan's films are good, but it's not like the comics. I get that. I understand that. But at the same time, you know, it worked. It worked really well. At least they would have had a springboard of something that was popular to jump off.
It brought Batman back from the depths of the lows that it was at.
Yeah,
at the
totally.
time.
And plus, like, you know, they could have, you know,
someone needs to do that with Superman now.
You know what I would do with Superman? This is not going to be popular for opinion, but I would give the whole fucking DC universe, even on TV, a break. Like, for a good couple of years, I put Superman on TV. Yes, TV. Not for movies. I'd put it on TV. No Smallville kind of gadgetry, but on TV, and do a Superman TV show, and then bring him into the movies for Justice League, but with the TV show, do a Superman Returns. Not Superman Returns, but have it set in the Donna kind of universe kind of thing, with that aesthetic, but set in the now. Pretend those movies happened, but don't show the origin story. But show stuff like, you know, the Fortress of Solitude being a crystal and shit.
That made more friggin' sense than what it is now.
Do you know what I mean? Have throwbacks, because they are classics. They're cinematic classics. So for you to throw back, you've got something to go, oh, I can enjoy this as part of this bigger thing.
Even Smallville did it.
Yeah, even Smallville did it.
With all its flaws. But yeah.
Yeah,
it's...
but I mean, like, you know, and that was what was really cool about Smallville for, like, the fans, you know what I mean? And like that's what I think. I'm not saying Superman belongs in TV, but I think TV has would serve the character a lot better in terms of exploring different parts of like the universe and the lore and stuff. You could do a whole season with him stuck in the Phantom Zone like they did in Smallville, but that wasn't a season. That was like 1-2 episodes. I think you could do loads of stuff with that. You know what I mean? And then like, you know, when it comes to the movies, just bring him out. You know what I mean? For a big event.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Doomsday or like, you know, or like all his super, you know, like because Superman has loads of different villains. He has all the small time thugs. He's got Lex Luthor, who will always be an ongoing thing. But then, you know, for the movie, then you bring someone like fucking Darkseid or fucking Doomsday or, do you know what I mean? But you have Lex Luthor as that common thread throughout the TV series because they're yin and yang, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm talking shit. I don't know, but like, I just think
it's a more.
It's a mess.
You have a plan.
Yeah.
That's a more coherent idea than DC have at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, look, and you know what? If you want to bring back some of the CW stuff, go with what works and what's popular. Bring in fucking Arrow, bring in Flash, because Flash works well, because, you know, they've shown he jumps through different universes, etc. And that would work for TV. In terms of the movies, who are your movie characters now? Wonder Woman and Batman. Because they're bank characters. You know what I mean? Superman's an average bank character. You know what I mean? No one really likes Superman in the masses. You know what I mean? But he has a big enough fan base to go tune in every week on TV. You know what I mean? Like, that's proven. Like, George Reeves did it in the 50s. Tom Welling did recent. You know what I mean? 10 seasons of that show. You know what I mean? And I didn't really even like that show. But, hey, someone did. You know?
I'll tell you what though. My ultimate thing for, and I've said this many a time, that my thing for Superman would have, I would have accepted Man of Steel.
Yeah.
But there was two things that they did wrong, in my opinion, is that you don't bring in a character like Zod and then kill him off in the same film. You could have, do you know, like in the Donner one, you see Zod.
Yeah.
You see what you hear what crimes he's done. They put him into the Vatum Zone. You don't know if he's going to be in the second film or third film or whatever.
But then you're just remaking the same film.
Sure.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that forget Zod. Yeah, introduce Zod in the same fashion. Do the whole Man of Steel thing, but with someone else, a different character.
Right.
Someone else from Krypton or whatever. I don't know. Maybe Brainiac. Maybe start off with Brainiac.
Oh, you wanted a different villain?
Yeah, completely.
Because someone who you hadn't seen before.
Yeah, and then do it the other way.
Yeah. I agree with you with Brainiac, because that was the fan favourite.
Yeah,
everyone wanted Brainiac, man. I wanted Brainiac, for fuck's sake. Brainiac would have been awesome. You know what I mean? Especially considering he is more or less a destroyer of worlds.
Yeah.
Like, literally, he's there to learn everything. He just needs to plug into the internet and just go, right, now I'm going to become like Unicron and fucking destroy fucking everything. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
again, no one would have seen it before.
Yeah.
I mean, people would know.
It would have been like Ultron. It would have been like fucking Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But better.
But, and it's just going back to the whole Zod thing, Zod would have been in the Phantom Zone. He would have broken out somehow, and then you could have introduced him like 4-5 films later.
Yeah.
So, I remember that guy.
Yeah.
And you could have had the 3 villains, and you could have created more.
Yeah.
More of that.
Yeah.
You could have just done
like
so
an
much
ongoing
more
series kind of serial.
Just like bring him back into the 3rd film or the 4th film.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, but you could have had that element there that's still there.
Yeah.
That you can bring back later, and that was the genius thing about that first.
But that's the thing. That's the thing that Marvel does so well. I mean, like, you know what? Like, you had this first Iron Man, and it's its own contained film, and then it isn't until the after show credits you meet Nick Fury, and then he just goes, "Have you ever heard of the Avengers Initiative?" And it's like a little cherry on top. We're not even thinking Avengers. We're just thinking that's a cherry on top. What is that about? And then you get Hulk. And then, like, you get the Tony Stark scene. You go, oh shit, Tony Stark's in there. And it's still very low key because we don't know the bigger picture there. And then when Iron Man 2 comes out, then they announce, like, yeah, fucking Avengers is coming.
Yeah.
And we're like, what? Then you get Cap. Okay, which is, in my opinion, I know you don't really rate it that much, but I think Cap is an underrated gem. Okay, personally, when you look back at Cap, and if you rewatch Cap now, you have a much more appreciation.
I probably would. I haven't seen it since.
Seriously, I recommend before Infinity War, we all watch them all in order, like not all at the same time, but like, you know, in bursts kind of thing. You appreciate them a bit better because they had a plan. For better or worse, they had a plan. And the fucking Tesseract.
Oh yeah,
or Cosmic Cube, they called it because it was the 40s, you know, they called it the Cosmic Cube. But the Tesseract, you know, it's there. And then the other thing is, when you see the Tesseract, you've got like the mural of the Tree of Life, and it's actually like what's it, Thor's map of the sky and shit that he explains to James Foster. It's there. And Red Skull has this monologue about the Tree of Life and what it's supposed to represent and shit, and you're just like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, they were thinking that because Thor was the next movie. No, Thor was the movie before, and you're like, oh, that's from Thor. And do you know what I mean? It's like the little things. But then when you see that Cosmic Cube, you're like, oh, okay, the Cosmic Cube, okay, cool. And then you figure out what the significance of that is, because what is it? It's the first Infinity Stone. And then you're just like, what? In Avengers, and then you see Thanos, and then you're like, shit, that realization about the Infinity Stones, it has to be the Gauntlet. You know what I mean? He's after the stones. And then placed them out so well in all of the movies. I think they could have longed it out more, but I think, you know what I mean, like, it's coming at the right time, because I think after Infinity War we need to have a new big bad. I was kind of hoping the fucking Fox thing would work out so we could get Galactus, but we've
gone off topic.
Yeah, but they've seeded it well. DC, you need a plan. That's all I'm saying. You guys need a plan.
And DiCaprio's Joker, I don't mind any of this stuff.
Yeah, I think look, seriously.
I just want some form of consistency, because I don't know. I'm getting to the point where I'm just sick of it.
Who do you think? Who would your perfect choice for Joker would be? Let's pretend Jared Leto would not be the Joker. Who would you like?
I would say either there's a guy on the Walking Dead, not the Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, who is I think he would be perfect for it.
Okay.
Let me get his name. I've been watching that show recently, and that guy is he's got a bit of DiCaprio, he's got a bit of Johnny Depp.
Okay, what, did they have a gangbang and make this child?
Maybe. I'm not sure how a gangbang could do that, but
yeah, me neither. I'm just
okay, what is this actor's name? Frank Delaney.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go. That's what he looks like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got that that look that he more or less looks like a younger Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
But if you see him act, he's got that in him. He could easily be the Joker.
Yeah. To be quite honest, I was a strong proprietor of having Johnny Depp be the Joker, like, about 10 years ago. Like, seriously, that guy could play the fucking Joker in his sleep. The only thing against that is that people are a little bit sick of Johnny Depp being an ookie kooky kind of guy. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, this is so perfect, it's too perfect, and we're sick of you doing those kind of roles. You know what I mean? That's the only thing it has against it. But you know, if they said that Johnny Depp was the Joker, I would not even think it's a bad thing. I'd just be like, cool, man, he's the Joker. I'd just be like, cool, he's Joker. Like, without even having to look at footage. Just like, yeah, cool. It's the same thing with Jared Leto. Like, personally, I know a lot of people I've met a few people that have a huge thing against his performance as Joker, but I'm going to say what I've always said. I felt his performance of the Joker suited the movie that they were trying to make. And there was nothing wrong with it, really. You know what I mean? He could have easily have played it the same way as Heath Ledger if he wanted to. He could have easily have done a Mark Hamill. He could have easily done... He just did something different. You know what I mean? He just did something different, and, you know, they did what suited that movie. And to me, when I saw him, I was like, cool, you're just playing the Joker. Okay, cool. It wasn't anything this different, but yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to cut it there because we've been talking about this for too long. Okay, cool. Yeah, more news on that as it comes, because I'm sure we'll hear another Joker film since last week announced next week. So, The Crow. Sony have picked this up. They're still developing this Crow film that may still have Jason Momoa in it. At this point, again, Sony. So, yeah, we'll have that. It's a recognizable franchise. We'll take it. And that's Sony. That's Sony through and through at the moment. The film division, that is. They're just like, yeah, we need money. Money. What can we get? Okay, The Crow, let's do this. It may be a bad film, maybe a good film, but they're just hungry for stuff. If we were going to make money, a film about £5 notes, yep, we'll do it.
Didn't they make the Emoji Movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I give no fucks. Seriously, why are they making... Look, here's the thing. I was semi-interested in the reboot when it was over at Warner's. only because the creator of The Crow was kind of like the Hellboy thing. He was on board with it, kind of thing. I was like, okay, maybe it'll be different enough where it'll be more like the comic and, you know, etc. Now Sony's in it. Do you think he's going to be involved? No. Do you know what I mean? Just no. And also, it's Sony. They have a track record of like being so great with their franchise lately. I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't care. I don't think anyone else would care. You know what? Alex Proyas, he used to make really good films. Okay, used to. I seen Gods of Egypt. It's fucking bad. But before
he's not directing this.
Yeah, but no. But what I'm saying is, what he did direct was The Crow. Go watch it. It's old. It's like 30 years old.
Just 20 years old.
20 years old.
94, 93.
Okay, well, if it's 93, it's older than 20. But like, it's not 30, but it's 20 something. Yeah. But either way, like, check that film out. It's amazing.
Yeah, 94.
Yeah, it's amazing. It doesn't need a remake. It's a classic, man. It's a classic fucking Brandon Lee shit right there.
Yeah. But again, I don't think I've seen The Crow recently. It does need a little bit of an update. It's very, even though it's set in the 90s, it's very 80s.
Yeah. And that's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, but just looking at it's got a visual effect look that, hey, there's a visual effect about to happen. do you know the?
Yeah, I know what. Yeah, I know what you mean. But you know what though? You know what? This is the thing. Okay. We were having a debate about this. I'm going to bring it back to Terminator, but there's a point to this madness. Because, you know, he re-released Terminator in the cinemas
James Cameron,
and you know, he didn't George Lucasify it with
he did.
No, he did, only in 2 shots. 3 shots, but do you know what I mean? It wasn't like, whoa, there's the Millennium Falcon there. It wasn't there before, or you know what I mean? Like, or Jabba just shows up, or whatever. He did it subtly, where it was like a quick 1-2 fix-up thing, like the head replacement with Arnold on the bike, the thing that didn't need the glass shatter, which nobody noticed anyway, except for him himself, which I thought was genius, because you know what I mean. You know, George has done that. Well, he totally.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's loads of shots that we still have not noticed to this day.
But like, you know, I don't know what the third thing was, but you know, those are the 2 that I know about in the Terminator reissue that happened recently. But my point is, they talked about other films that he was going to convert into 3D, and he said Aliens and stuff. And like, you know, we were all talking coming out of Terminator. We were like, we want to see Terminator 1 remastered like that. And then someone's like, yeah, but they got to redo the visual effects for the T-800 at the end.
No, they won't.
No, that's not what they said they'd do. This is like a discussion.
I'm saying they wouldn't have to, because there are. All you have is the negative. And for Terminator, because there's no actual CG in Terminator 1.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying like they need to. What's it? They wanted them to redo those shots, but in up to date CGI.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
And I was like, well, you know, I hear what you're saying, but you got to understand, Terminator 1 is a grindhouse movie. The minute you update those CGI, it stops being a grindhouse movie.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's a movie that is clearly a product of its time. You know what I mean? You update it too much, it's now not that movie anymore. Do you know what I mean? It fails to be that movie, kind of thing. But you have those effects and you keep the stop motion and stuff. It suits that time. It's timeless for that time. You know what I mean? That's the you know what I mean? It's like the argument with stop motion animation versus CGI animation. You know what I mean? To a degree, it has a certain aesthetic to it.
Yeah.
You know. So that would be my for and against argument with doing that with Terminator. I've got no problem if James Cameron did do it and update the CGI for modern day audience to rediscover that movie. If that makes sense. So I'd be like, oh my god, that's amazing. But so long as they don't erase what we grew up with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think the way we grew up with it is fantastic. You know what I mean? As a movie within itself. So I think if they ever did that, there should be an option. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going back to The Crow, I think it's a product of its time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? No one's looking to update that, and they don't need to.
Yeah.
They don't need to. Just fucking go watch it. You know, just get off your lazy ass. Stop watching the remakes. Just watch this film because it's awesome. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, again, I don't know what to say about that, but I think done in the right way, it could complement the. I mean, you still always have that film.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's also that film's already been restored.
It's not like they haven't remade The Crow like 20 times already in the past 20 years. I mean, like how many remake sequels have they had?
I think just 2, but
No, I swear there's like 5 of them.
No, but those were sequels.
Oh right, yeah.
I mean, they weren't official sequels because it was a different Crow. It was supposed to be part of the same mythology or something. I don't know. I didn't see any of them. So
I saw the second one. That wasn't too bad.
Oh, I saw the TV show Stairway to Heaven, and that was directly connected to the first film.
Yeah.
So and I had.
What was that like? What was that?
That
show?
was good.
Oh, okay.
It was good, but it got cancelled. So there was only one season of it. But it was. If anyone still has that streaming or anywhere, The Crow Stairway to Heaven is the follow one from The Crow. So
check it out.
That. Yeah, check that out. I'm gonna move forward now.
Okay.
Okay, so this is it's not a big piece of news, but you know Guillermo del Toro is trying to make every film on Earth.
Yeah.
Here's another one in his bandwagon that has popped up again. He still wants to make the stop motion Pinocchio. Considering how many this guy just likes to have projects.
Yeah.
He'll never be able to finish.
He wants to do a stop motion Pinocchio.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
Pinocchio.
you know what? He should just team up with Disney and do their live action one. But then I guess he just wants to be that visionary and have his own stamp on it.
Yeah.
Go nuts, man. Go nuts.
Yeah, but
Kickstarter it. I'll give you 20 quid.
I wouldn't mind seeing this one, but I still want to see the one with Robert Downey Jr. as Geppetto. Do you not remember that he announced that ages ago?
I remember that was something ages ago. Disney, listen, someone at the Mouse House, get these combined forces together. Have them fucking RDJ as Geppetto. Have fucking Del Toro direct it. Fuck it. You know what? No CGI. Do the stop motion in it. Put the Disney logo on it. People will come. That's a $500 million movie right there. You know what I mean? And if fucking Del Toro directs it, you know what I mean? It's gonna be a critically acclaimed fucking Disney movie right there. I'm just saying, like, Disney, make this happen. Just don't get too controlling with it's not like the fucking cartoon one with the whale. Just like let him do his thing. Done. RDJ as Geppetto. I know those are 3 separate projects, but rather than give us 3 different variations of fucking Pinocchio, just let your powers combine and create Captain Planet, man. So yeah, or Pinocchio in this case. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just like, yeah, cool.
Would you like to see a traditionally animated Pinocchio, or when I say traditionally animated now, that means 3D?
No.
Or would you like to see the stop motion one that he's doing, or would you like to see a live action?
I'm up for either live action or a stop motion. I'm not really too keen on the CGI one.
Why is that? What if Pixar made it?
If Pixar made it, I'd be more inclined because it won't be cheap. It would be more thought out.
Yeah.
The reason being why I'm more open to a live action one is because I think that'd be very interesting in terms of visual effects, in terms of having this, wooden child like running about and shit. That'd look cool. That'll look cool.
Yeah.
Like, just saying. In terms of stop motion, that's just very interesting.
Yeah.
That it's original and it's very interesting and it's not your typical bullshit that's out there. You know what I mean? I actually had a friend of mine that wants to direct Frankenstein.
Oh wow!
His own take on Frankenstein, and he wants Frankenstein. He wants it to shoot like an old school black and white movie because he doesn't. He's got, I got no money, so I'm gonna like.
He's gonna Kevin Smith it.
No, he's gonna film it like if it was done in the 30s.
He's gonna Kevin Smith it.
Yeah, so he's gonna film it like he wants to film it in 5x1 or what's?
4x3.
4x3. He wants to film it in 4x3, and he wants to have like film it all in black and white. Have cue cards for the words and for the dialogues and shit. And he wants to submit it into a film festival.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, he wants me to help him out, like making it, and I was like, I don't know yet. I need to see something a bit more than this pitch, but I don't know. But that's something that's just happened through a conversation yesterday. I don't know whether it will actually happen, but but the reason why I mention it. That take of Frankenstein so left field that maybe someone will like go, hey, what's that? That was made now? Or like, you know what I mean? All of a sudden there's loads of questions. See a stop motion fucking Pinocchio, it's unique, it's different. It's not what every other motherfucker's doing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. Go nuts.
Yeah, well, I like Guillermo del Toro even more so because he's one of the most open-minded. He's like Spielberg he's like a Spanish Spielberg in the sense that he's so open-minded to lots of different ideas and unique ways of thinking. I mean, I really wish we got his version of Silent Hill.
The game. Yeah.
Because that would have been I
still got that demo on my PS4.
Just from that demo that him and Kojima made, that was brilliant.
Yeah,
and it's just it's a small snippet of what it could have been, and someone who has that visionary kind of idea that they need to be able to free to make what they want. But and I really wish he stayed on Hellboy. Speaking of Hellboy, that's coming up in a minute. Okay, on to the next piece or the next story. Lord of the Flies. You remember Lord of the Flies? Did you ever read that at school or watch the film?
No. I actually have not seen Lord of the Flies.
Oh, okay. I met Lord of the Flies. I had to read at school, which I'm glad I did. And then I saw the film. I saw the one from the 50s and the one from the 90s. It's if you want to know about what a state would be without any police or anything, and just run by kids or what's the word? Pre-teens, I guess. Watch Lord of the Flies is more or less where our society is at the moment. But they want to do this version with females. Right. If you've not seen Lord of the Flies, then you're really not going to have any depth on what this is. But Lord of the Flies is about this scout group that I think they either get shipwrecked on this island, and there's no adults running it, so they try to survive, and then they create packs, I don't want to spoil the whole thing for you, but it's friggin' interesting. It's one of the best things you could read, and one of the best films, especially the 50s film that you could watch. But yeah, just doing this with females, I don't see why everything has to do that now.
Yeah, I think that seems to be the trend at the moment. Why can't they just make a original film with females? I tell you what, there was a film I saw this week where it had a really strong fucking female lead, and like she was fucking amazing. And everyone's going on about Wonder Woman empowering fucking women and shit. These guys ain't seen this.
You're talking about Terminator, right?
Of course I'm talking about fucking Terminator 2, man. Come on.
Okay, you're going into a different argument here now, because Cameron said something about Wonder Woman as well.
Yeah.
And Paige Jackson came back at him, quite rightly so.
Oh yeah.
Saying that if he's making that argument, then we're back at square one. Because no matter what a woman looks like, isn't it?
Yeah.
If it encourages you to be a better person, whether the woman's beautiful or not beautiful, or whatever, or idolized, it's something special. Yeah. He's just done. Sarah Connor is a different version of that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it made a good conversation though. But I think Cameron was speaking out of turn there, because he made it about his film. He didn't make it about empowering women, and Patty Jenkins was making it about empowering women.
Right.
And Patty Jenkins didn't even have an argument with him.
Yeah.
It was him that
I had no clue that this.
Oh, you didn't?
No. I had no clue.
There's a big word of spoken. So basically, when Cameron had his interview, when he was doing this whole Terminator 2 thing, he said something about Wonder Woman, and I think he spoke out of turn. I thought, ooh, that's not going to sit well, and it didn't. And then Patty Jenkins came back with a rebuttal, and she kind of owned him, to be honest. He went about it the wrong way. But anyway, either way, Lord of the Flies with women, I'm not sure if that's the way to go. If, again, like you said earlier, if you're gonna have if it's an original story that is Lord of the Flies like, there's nothing. I would gladly watch that. But having something that pre-exists already, but changing the genders of all the characters and then calling it Lord of the Flies, I don't think it's particularly necessary. But who am I to argue? I'm not the one with that makes the decisions with making these films and stuff. But I just don't. I think we've gone a little bit crazy with taking existing products and putting a woman into the role, or vice versa. Yeah. It just doesn't need to be done. And I don't know. I think I'll be fascinated to see what Lord of the Flies is like. Again, I don't know if they'll still make it pre-teens or they'll be even younger than that. But I can't see them doing this without being compared to Hunger Games or something like that, because that's essentially where it goes. Lord of the Flies goes. It goes to pact mentality, a pact mentality group. I don't know if you've got any, because clearly you've not read the book or seen the film, so you've got no.
I can't really speak. I mean, like, as long as they make a decent film, I guess. If it's Lord of the Flies inspired, maybe they could take elements of it and, like, you know, do their own thing, make it their own thing, and make it original. I guess, kind of like how I don't know, Seven Samurai and fucking, you know, Magnificent Seven kind of style, I guess. But I can't really add to this because I've not seen the movie. I'm not against it, but I see what you mean about the trends and stuff, like female Ghostbusters and shit. But you know, we'll have to see. I mean, saying that, Ghostbusters, I'm going to go against like what a lot of people are thinking here, but you know, I know people where that was their first Ghostbusters experience and they loved the movie. They actually loved the movie. They didn't see a problem with the movie at all, because that's Ghostbusters. You know, that was just a Ghostbusters movie to them. So, you know, on that rationale, you know, I could not take that away from them. And it was a good movie in terms of, let's just pretend old school Ghostbusters didn't exist as a movie. Yeah, I guess it's okay. My problem with it was that we have good Ghostbusters, and it exists, and it was my Ghostbusters, and they fucked it. But that's how I felt. Do you know what I mean? So it's very hard to like something when, you know what I mean, you've been invested and it was such a big part of your childhood and, you know, whatnot. And that's the same with most reiterations in general, you know what I mean? Like, depending on what it is and stuff. You got to be able to divorce yourself from that and then make a assertive opinion there. Yeah. But, you know, again, Lord of the Flies is not Ghostbusters, but where it's such a big IP, you know what I mean? Like, it might be interesting, but, you know what I mean? I don't know, man.
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
Well, I guess
just the remake machine continues.
Yeah, more or less. I'm more on that. I guess as once we start to see pictures of it and we see a trailer, I think you'll understand more about what the film is about. But if I was to tell anyone, I know this is going to sound cliche, but read the book. It's pretty good. Okay, so. We come on to Ben Affleck, and so Ben Affleck's in talks to direct his brother Casey Affleck in a story based on a true life story war movie based on a Red Platoon, and this is significant because during this time he is supposed to be filming the Batman, and so if he's directing a film with his brother in it, which will take up let's say a year, how can he possibly be in this Batman film?
Maybe he shows up a couple of days as Bruce Wayne and his stunt double does all the stunts.
You could be right about that.
Yeah, I'm just saying it can be done. Mm-hmm. It's I know it's not being directed by Robert Rodriguez, but a conversation must have been had with him. If they said Robert Rodriguez was directing the Batman and this was the case, I'd believe it.
Well, I mean, in terms of this film, this is what he likes doing. So I could easily say, do you know what? This isn't the Batman film that I really want to make. I will give the ghost up and go do the projects that I want to do. Yeah. So I think, even though he's not doing this, I think he wants to maintain his integrity with Warner Brothers in some degree, in terms of, because he's an Oscar-winning director. So if he wants to do a film, even though his last film didn't do well, people have bad days at the office. Yeah.
It was a good film, though.
Yeah, well, this is what I mean.
It's a good film.
I just don't...
And it brings me back to my point. When original films come out, no motherfucker wants to go see them.
Well, yeah. Because
it's like the other day, a friend of mine was like, "Oh, Hollywood remake, come out with something original." So I turned around to him and was like, "There are 4 fucking brand new releases, and I guarantee you ain't come to the cinema for them." Mm-hmm. Logan Lucky, Atomic Blonde, Hitman's Bodyguard, Detroit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's 4. They're not based on any IPs, whatnot. They're 4 original films. Haven't really hit the box office a storm. You know what I mean? They've made them, they've done well in terms of, their budget and whatnot, but they're not like the big thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the popcorn movies and stuff. You know what I mean? It's not that little gem. Like, you remember back in the 90s where a little gem movie like that could, like, make huge money. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not in them days anymore, you know what I mean?
I mean, there's more distractions now, and I was listening to a conversation the other day which really kind of shocked me. This is going into a very different area now, but but these guys were talking about, yeah, man, films are crap these days. I had to, and they're talking about streaming them illegally, and the stream's not good, or they were disappointed in the film. So you have, and I told them, you have no right to be disappointed in the film, because one, you didn't pay to see it, and no one's forcing you to watch it. Yeah. You're not obligated to watch any of these films. So you can cry about it all you want, but the fact that you scoured around on the internet looking for a good stream of a film that you had no intention of giving any of the artists credit for, you've got if you like the film, that's great, but you've got no right to criticize it because you put no investment into it. So your opinion means nothing. it means less than nothing because it's not feeding back into the loop of that director ever making a good film at some point or whatever. But again, going off into a tangent. But because there's so many distractions, you've got Netflix, you've got your phone, you've got Facebook, you've got all of these things that we do now. Yeah. In the 90s, all we had, we barely had the internet. And we had arcades, we had video games. I think video games and TV were the only two distractions that we had by going to watch films. Now, there's no space for original films. I mean, look at Death Note, right?
Yeah.
It came and went. It's in the ether now.
Yeah, no one liked it, right?
Yeah, no one liked it.
Was it bad?
Yeah, it was bad.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not a good film. But my point being is that even if a film like Crouching Tiger 2, that came and went.
Yeah.
It went straight into the ether and it's forgotten now. And I think the auditorium version of cinema still needs a place because it highlights a film that would be then lost in a sea of films if it was released online or something. It's the same way I felt about arcade games to a degree. If it wasn't in the arcade, then what's the point?
Yeah.
I don't feel that now because the gaming has evolved so much faster than film has in that sense. But again, looping this around to what Ben Affleck's doing.
Yeah, I was like that. What are we talking about again?
Yeah,
Ben Affleck.
He's making an original film.
Yeah.
And if that means him backing out Batman to do it, I don't know if he is or if he isn't. But
I think he's still the Bat.
Yeah, he probably is. But there's zero. I feel there's zero enthusiasm for him being that. He's just running up his contract. Okay, I'm in these films. I'm done after that, and he's got no more desire to do it. I think he's had quite a tragic experience with that character.
I feel sorry for Ben Affleck, man. This always happens to him, man. When's this guy going to catch a break?
He has caught a break, right?
Well, like properly, like, you know what? Some people, he gets an Oscar and then you got those fucking Affleck haters like, oh, but is he really good? Of course he's fucking good. Watch his fucking films.
He doesn't need to prove anything to anyone anymore. The guy won an Oscar. And that's the... I mean, medals don't mean anything, really, but if you're going to get a medal, that's the most prestigious medal that you can get in the industry. He doesn't have to prove anything to anyone. If you don't like his films, you don't like his films. That just shows the ignorance that person has. As far as I'm concerned, he's a friggin' great director and he's a better actor because of it. Gone Girl, well, he wasn't amazing in it, but he the part that he played, in the sense that he didn't know what was going on around him, he played that part well. And of course, Rosamund Pike was her name.
Yeah, Rosamund Pike.
Yeah, that balance was really, I really like that. It's the first time I saw Ben Affleck as an actor again, playing a part that he could get, not stick his teeth into, but just do something with. I don't know. That's something trivial. But anyway, this film that he's making is due to be released in 2019, Red Platoon. And so more news on that as that comes. But I'm fascinated to see what happens with this Batman film beyond that. All right. I'm going to skip the Ed Serkin thing because I think that's been done to death. Box office attendance. Okay, so it's hit a 25-year low. Attendance has been going down in the box office since 1992, and this year has been a critical stance on that. We've both worked in the cinema.
Yeah.
In the heyday when I worked at a cinema, there were queues were a thing. They were a real big thing. When you saw a queue for a film, it was a friggin' big deal.
Yeah.
Now,
well, there's still queues, but it's not.
It's not in the same way.
It's not the same way. I mean,
but my comparison to that is that there's less reason to go and see a film in the cinema because either one, ticket prices are too high, or I mean looks like it's being handled to a degree with some cinema chains, in terms of ticket price. But I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if it's the films that have been made or whatever. But this year has just been. It looks like it's been particularly bad. It could be the fact that people don't have a lot of money to go do that activity. Or I don't know. What do you think of that?
I just think it's stuff like Netflix.
You think it's Netflix?
I think, well, to some degree. I mean, like, some people, like my dad, will never go to the movie theatre.
Mm-hmm.
He will never go to the movie theatre. He will just stay at home.
Yeah.
And watch it on his tablet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In the worst possible way to watch a fucking film.
Yeah.
But you've got that demographic of people that do that. You know what I mean? Unless they see something they actually want to see.
Yeah.
It's that same argument, only the blockbusters bring people out. You know what I mean? Like, you know, but those same people are the guys that bitch about all the remakes and shit. You know what I mean? Because they don't support the little films. It's that same argument, and I just think the younger generation don't really see that magic of cinema that people like us grew up with as much, because they've always had stuff just there out on a plate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't know the pain of like, oh, that's coming out in cinema, cool, and then they go see it. I want to see it again. Oh shit, I'll go to cinema again. I'll just wait till it comes out to buy or to rent on VHS. I've got to wait a whole year for that. So yeah, and then a year goes by and Ghostbusters 2 is available to rent on video. Yeah, this is a true story. And you really want to buy Ghostbusters 2? We would wait a whole other year. That's 2 years later before you can buy the motherfucker. You know what I mean? Yeah, kids don't know shit. I remember when DVD first came out and the wait was like, what was it, 6 months, and you could own it? And I was like, what? I was like, what witchcraft is this? I need to get myself a DVD player. And I did. It's like no one will understand that wait anymore that we had in the 90s and the 80s to an extent. 80s was even worse, but like, do you know what I mean? Like that era was like film and to view at home.
Yeah, because it was scarce.
Well, yeah, it was relatively a new thing. It was an 80s thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and it's just to do with as you said,
right.
There's lots more access to lots of different things. There's lots of other things to do. There's lots of I think there's multiple factors to this. I think one being money as well. It's expensive to go to cinema, and two being that you've got your Imax, that is a thing. You've got your extreme screen or whatever. There's so many different things to see, and everything has these tier of prices that it can get good. A ticket used to be a ticket back in the day.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Want to see this film? Boom. There's no confusion about what seat you were in or whatever. It's just like, boom, ticket. I could go see the film. I can't. I mean, the cinema has bad years from time to time, but this seems to be a particularly bad one, and I'm not sure if it's gonna, unless there's something that drastically changes in cinema. I can't see it getting any better. It would be a shame to lose the theatre aspect of film. Even if it's left just the spectacle films. I mean, that wouldn't particularly bother me. At least I'll know there will be fewer releases, in the sense that, okay, well, this film's going to be out in July. It'll be probably there till August or September, because there's fewer releases. I reckon I have my leisure to see it or whatever. And I don't know. I don't know if that's an actual solution to the problem. But the way I see things going is that either this that 30-day release thing where they'll next year they might be trying that out, so Warner Brothers will release a film and then 30 days later you can stream it,
right,
or whatever, for just a little bit of a higher price. And if that model works for the smaller films, maybe, or even the bigger films, then I guess that's what we will adopt. But it'll be a shame to lose that spectacle, which is going into a theater. That's one thing I really appreciate. But again, yeah, it's a different world, I guess. So you've got to make do with whatever.
Yeah, I've got nothing else to add to that, man. You just nailed everything there, and I don't think I could bring anything to the table there. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, the other things I wanted to talk about, we're kind of wrapping up now. This Knight Rider film that the Weinstein brothers wanted to, or the Weinstein company wants to do.
As well as the TV series?
I don't think they're doing the TV series, they're just doing the film.
Okay.
With Kevin Hart and John Cena.
What?
Yeah, I don't see that as a thing, really. One, I'm not really a big fan of Kevin Hart, and two, I don't particularly like John Cena either, but he seems to be very good at comedy.
Yeah.
Who I'd really like to see, do you know Danny McBride?
Yeah.
I'd like to see his version of Knight Rider. And see, that already got a laugh.
I can picture it, that's why.
So what?
I can picture it, that's why. I can picture him arguing with the car.
Yeah.
I can picture him actually getting into a fight with the car.
Yeah.
If it was him and Will Ferrell, I can picture him going, "Shut up, you stupid pie," and punching the seat. And getting mad and go, "Michael, I know you should know by now that I'm a car, for fuck's sake. Do not that doesn't hurt me."
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, even if it's this makes me wish it is a continuation of the Ace. He finds the car and he goes, whoa, what the hell is this?
Oh, so he's not Michael Knight, he's just some other guy that finds the car.
Yeah, he finds it, and then after a while he'll bump into David Hasselhoff and say, this is for I work for the Foundation of Law and Government, you managed to find Kit again, yada yada yada, whatever the plot details might be. He has to get the MacGuffin, whatever the MacGuffin is, and
You've just written your own Knight Rider movie right there, man. We don't make it.
But yeah, I
you know what? I prefer that than it be some random pretty boy that's supposed to be the new Knight Rider.
Yeah.
The fact you got a bumbling dude.
Yeah.
You've just changed the fucking thing already.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
I want that version of Knight Rider. I've seen the other versions of Knight Rider.
They were all shit. You may as well just play it for laughs.
Yeah, you might as well go this way with it, because one, you'll still get the car, and everything that you liked about it will still be there, but with that comedy twist to it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to say something, and this is going to divide a lot of people. I didn't mind the Green Hornet.
Yeah, I thought it was alright.
I thought it was hilarious.
I didn't think it was hilarious. I thought it was good.
Mate, that fight between him and Kato, man.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh god, I know a lot of people thought it was shit because maybe it wasn't the character or nothing, but I thought it was fat. I thought it was my only introduction to Green Hornet was the TV show, right, with Bruce Lee, and I didn't think it was that bad considering I'm coming off the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I thought it was pretty damn good, but yeah. Anyway, but that's the only thing I could give an example of where you're going with that Knight Rider thing.
Yeah, but
are the Weinsteins actually making a movie?
No, they have. I think that's a plan.
Oh, okay.
If
they've got the option.
I think so.
As in they've got the rights now, so it's an option, and they were reporting.
But Kevin, I don't want to see Kevin Hart in this.
You know what? I'm going to defend Kevin Hart here.
It's not that I don't like him. I just don't want to see him in this.
He's
because he's already done Ride Along and lots of other films that are very similar.
Yeah,
to this. I don't want to see that again.
I think Kevin Hart is a funny comedian. I just don't think he's been in the correct kind of comedies.
No.
At all. I think it's just been he's got an agent, and everyone's trying to force feed him into something.
Yeah.
And obviously he's going where the money is because, you know, he's a comedian. Yeah, we'll make it work. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Rather than picking projects that actually suits him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Suits his character. I thought he was very good in the Sylvester Stallone, Robert De Niro, Grudge Match. I thought it was really good in Grudge Match because his character was basically him doing his thing, and it worked in that movie.
Never saw Grudge Match.
It was alright. It was pretty good. I thought it worked in that movie, and that was the first time I saw him in a movie. Like, I'd known him as a comedian. I was like, cool. Ride Along, I saw it, and already I knew it was a bad idea because I looked at it, I thought they remade Bad Boys, and I never saw the first one. That's what I thought when I saw the poster. I was like, I've seen Bad Boys, it's a classic, fuck that movie. And then I saw the second one. I went on a date with someone and she really wanted to see fucking Ride Along 2. I was like, fuck's sake. So I went and watched Bad Boys Light, as I like to call these films, and it was just as shit as I thought it would be. And it's just fucking bad, man. It's so terrible. I don't understand why people think it's funny. And then, you know, I haven't seen Central Intelligence, but I was really hoping because they do have a chemistry about them. Now, I think that casting, that double act is cool, but I want to see them in a different movie, but one where it works for them.
Well, you're going to see them.
Them in Jumanji. Yeah. I hope that works out for them.
I don't think
but
it will.
I don't think it will. I think because you got to understand, when Eddie Murphy did comedy, it was, well, like in the old days,
it was suited to him.
It was suited to him.
Yeah.
The script, you know, like he ad-libbed Beverly Hills Cop himself. That was all him. You can't get away with that now. Now they've got a script that's locked. The comedian has to go through all of that shit. He does, you know, unless they're making it themselves. And unfortunately, Kevin Hart is not Ben Stiller and Will Ferrell and those guys. He's someone that gets given the material, and you know he does that. And they might do a couple of takes of ad lib, but it wouldn't be as organic as like what they did with those films. You know?
Yeah.
Because like. Man, you mean to tell me like Ride Along was like them like coming up with jokes on the fly? No, because oh man, it was so bad. I don't know, man, but like, I hope they don't have this duo of John Cena and Kevin Hart. John Cena I don't mind too much, but Kevin Hart, he needs to do something else in that sense. I think he needs to do a serious role.
Yeah.
Change it up to make everyone go, holy shit, Kevin Smart. And I think he's just need to jam with like proper comedy people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, rather than go out by himself, like be part of that flux where he gets to show himself more. If he was in a Will Ferrell film, you know he's going to utilise his talent to where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But he's just in these movies that are tailored because some writer or producer's like, yeah, we'll get Kevin Hart, he's funny, yeah, stick him there. But the movie's shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not, you know, it's not like something where he's been with some people and comedians are jamming. Like, I'd watch him if he was with Seth Rogen's group of people, you know what I mean? Because you know the movie's going to be funny, right?
Yeah.
Or, you see what I'm trying to say here, right?
Yeah, totally.
But like...
it's like, do you know The Lonely Island?
Andy Samberg, yeah.
Yeah, when they did that film, Never Stop, Never Stopping.
I never saw it, I really need to.
You need to watch that film.
Okay.
The thing is, it'll be so good with people around you that know their comedy.
Yeah.
And just generally, if you had people around with you, you get you just get the jokes. And
like, you know what? I'm going to say this straight up. Imran.
I would hate that film.
No. I mean Imran himself. Oh. Okay, we've got a friend, Imran Yusuf. Check his stuff out. Really funny guy, really funny comedian. He did a sitcom called Fried.
Oh yeah.
That show sucks, and he's one of my really good friends. He even knows it sucks. Well, no, he doesn't. I don't know, but you know, I can tell he's not too pleased with like, you know, it whatnot. But like, but it's, you know, it's not great. He's great in it. Okay, for what his role is, etc. But the show itself isn't that great. Do you know what I mean? And like, I just think, you know, once he does his own thing, which I'm not going to mention, but that's going to blow shit away.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because he's around people that understand comedy, and you know, it's not some dude in a writer's room going, "Oh, I think this would be funny. Oh, we'll get that guy because he's done this one thing, and we'll make it work." Because you know, we're a painted by numbers fucking system. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm going at with the Kevin Hart thing. You know what I mean? Like Ben Stiller, even fucking Adam Sandler. You can say what you like about Adam Sandler, but he had a formula that worked for practically his whole career. And now, you know, I think about 10 years ago, people started seeing the cracks. It was a case of every now and again he'll churn out that one that's actually pretty funny.
The last film I thought that he did was funny was the Zohan.
Zohan, yeah. Zohan was great, man. Zohan was joke.
The film knew what it was.
Yeah.
It was kind of taking the piss out of itself, and that's what I loved about it.
I like the Longest Yard remake.
What's that?
Oh man, you know, the one where they play football against the fucking American football against the guards.
No, I never saw that.
You never saw that? Oh my god, it's jokes. I watch it like randomly, like with my mum basically. I was crying. It's not too much. It's a remake. It's a remake. The original film has Burt Reynolds, who's also in the Adam Sandler film.
Oh, right.
And the original film has Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it's like... Yeah, am I getting the Sylvester Stallone one mixed up with another? But it's basically... What's it?
It's a remake.
He's a remake, but he plays a pro footballer, like an American football star. His wife is Courtney Cox. He gets an argument with his wife, they basically go through a divorce, and she fucks him by like getting him arrested, so he goes to jail. Because he's a football star, they're like, right, well, we want to have the warden decides to have a football match where it's the guards versus the inmates. So he's got to make all these inmates, like, train them up for football, and they are fucking terrible kind of thing. But it's got Chris Rock.
It's an underdog story.
Yeah, but it's got Chris Rock in there, and it's on fire, man. You know what I mean? Put Kevin Hart in one of those films, man. I don't know, man, but like it's a really joke Adam Sandler film.
Yeah, well,
but yeah,
I don't. Adam Sandler's done this. He's gone back into drama, which I need to watch the trailer for because it's fairly new. But if he does drama again, I'll be interested.
Yeah,
because he's good at drama. Well, anyway, going on to, I'm just gonna scour
the interwebs.
Yeah,
surf the waves are.
What do you reckon on? Are you looking forward to it?
No.
Oh, you don't like horror films?
I'm not gonna do the horror thing, man. I'll watch it if a whole group of people are like, "Hey, let's go watch it," and then I'll go watch it. But you know, if it's me by myself, no. Oh, who are you seeing it with?
I'll watch it myself.
See, that's the thing. If I went with like a whole group of people, I'd go watch it. But like, yeah. So
yeah. Speaking of it, Thor Ragnarok is one film I really want to see.
Oh man, I can't wait for that film.
Labor Day. Wow, the bad news just keeps pouring in. Labor Day weekend, box office worst since 1999.
Oh wow.
Yeah, films just haven't done well this year. There's a lot of Star Wars news being. I guess we're ramping up to the time because we've got 4 months till Star Wars now.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of Star Wars news. Mixed reviews for George Clooney's Suburbicon.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But is it because do you know when he made what's that film that was in black and white?
Oh, Good Night, Good Luck.
Yeah, I really like that film.
Yeah.
Do you think it's one of those deals? Because Good Night and Good Luck is quite political and very in its era.
Yeah. And
I can see a lot of people just I don't know what am I watching? I don't care and switch off. So George Clooney really makes these particular films that are set in an era or have a political stance to them, and this to me seems like he's making just going by the trailer, he's making a reference to American culture in a sense that I don't want to second guess him here, but
well, he's always been politically. He's had a very strong political stance on stuff on quite a lot of his projects, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's mainly because his dad's a news journalist.
Right.
I don't know whether you knew that or not, but his dad actually goes around the world reporting the news.
Well, I know his wife is a lawyer.
So, but I think that's what I think that's where it stems from. His dad's like, I've forgotten his dad's name, but he's like a local news. He's like a news broadcaster, isn't it? So, yeah.
But I want to see Suburbicon. It looks pretty. I don't know. It speaks to me. Okay.
So, like, speaking of news, I mean, like, have you seen... Okay, so Spider-Man Homecoming hasn't had a China release yet. A lot of the movies this year haven't had a China release because of some kind of thing going on over there. Right. So a lot of them have been pushed back a lot later than when they should have come.
Right.
Spider-Man Homecoming's just gearing up on its marketing campaign for China. And has some really groovy out of this world posters like Spider-Man on a horse.
Okay.
Legit movie poster.
Why?
I don't know. I really don't know. Him with a whole load of Chinese statues.
That's really weird.
I know, right? It's fucking strange. This one, which is kind of standard for Spider-Man, but that's not Manhattan. That's fucking Hong Kong.
Okay.
Here we go.
Wow, that's really weird.
That is really fucking weird. I was like, is this Spider-Man or Deadpool? Here we go. Another non-Manhattan landmark. That is also Hong Kong.
Jeez.
Here we go.
I guess, I mean... the market. I'm guessing that the people who've marketed this film have got metadata on what...
Yeah.
Okay, this is what works, this what doesn't work. Let's do more of this, let's do less of that. Fair enough.
And this is the only one that kind of makes sense because
that's more in vain to what happens in the film.
Exactly. I mean, like, there's more context than that, right?
Yeah, we're looking at a series of posters that have pandas and
so Spider-Man's chilling with pandas. He's on a cable car. He's wearing a cool like samurai hat. Yeah, man. Sony are going nuts with this marketing. But then this is kind of like the final push for the movie. I mean, like, China's like a huge market. Mm-hmm. Marvel movies have potentially made like easily up to like an extra 200 million out there.
Yeah.
It only takes them 100 million out in China to make it the biggest grossing Spider-Man film since Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Which automatically makes it better than anything Sony's churned out, with their Amazing Spider-Man series.
Well, to be honest, I don't think this Spider-Man film needs to prove anything more. It's made enough domestically, it's made enough internationally, and if it hasn't been released in China yet, it's still yet more to make. So it's a hit as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Sony need to just look. It's a hit.
It's a hit.
Yeah. Don't get over yourself, man. This is working. So.
Would you think they're as bad as Warner's with what they're doing with their like?
Potentially.
Yeah.
But I think because Marvel are the other seaters in this little thing, they'll keep them in check.
Yeah.
In terms of what they'll whatever Sony throw at them, they can make that work.
Right.
Or I wouldn't say vice versa, but yeah. Spider-Man's going to be fine. It's what Sony want to do with everything else that will rock the boat.
Yeah.
Because Venom without Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's kind of
why bother?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know what? I mean, like, it just looks like Marvel are setting it up for themselves. So why beat them to the curb? Because once Infinity War comes out, he's bound to get the black suit. You know what I mean? And like that's why he's got that Tony Stark big massive giant spider in his new outfit for Infinity War, you know? Because it's like, okay, well that's where the big spider comes from, you know what I mean? I don't know, but like
the one thing I would like to see in these Spider-Man films is Madam Web.
not till later down the line.
Oh yeah,
man.
not too much later.
You can't do that now. It has to be like later. And I'm not gonna lie though, that's something I don't want to see.
But it's the only reason I say that is because if they actually that won't make any sense at all. But
as a Spider-Man fan, I'd like to see Turk show up.
Who?
Turk.
Who's Turk?
You've seen Daredevil and Luke Cage and stuff, right? Okay.
Oh,
so the black guy.
Oh.
The black guy. You know the black guy in Daredevil. The first episode of Daredevil. He's the first bad guy he fights. There's the girls that he's like putting in a crate, and he's got like a shotgun, and Daredevil comes down, beats him up, and then and he shows up a couple of times throughout Daredevil season 1 and 2, and then he goes to Harlem, and he gives Cottonmouth some intel, or Cottonmouth's right hand man some intel about Luke Cage, kind of thing, and then when Pop dies, spoilers, when Pop dies, I don't. Did you get that far? When Pop dies,
I don't know.
Well, anyway, when Pop dies, fucking Cottonmouth kills the guy that kills Pop, and then fucking Turk's like, "You motherfuckers are crazy up in Harlem, bro. I'm moving my black ass to Queens."
I remember that part.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay.
That guy. He's in all the TV shows. That guy's like a Spider-Man. You know, like a Spider-Man.
Well, not a villain, just
not
a
villain,
little middle school.
Little thug.
Thug
that shows up, always getting whooped, etc. And what I love about him, he's that exact same role in all of those, and it's the same actor. I want to see that guy in Spider-Man, just for that connection, and also just see him just go, "You climbed up motherfucking walls." You know what I mean? Just like freak out by like. I know it's just little.
No, that's I need to, because that character, I remember what he said in one of the episodes, which is the one you said. Yeah. But the face, I'm lost on the face. But that's an excuse for me to watch him again. So I'll go through that. But yeah, all right. Well, what else is there? If there's one thing I wanted to see, it is what's that film that's coming out this month? Oh gosh, I can't remember what it's called.
Kingsman.
Yes, Kingsman. Yeah, I really want to see Kingsman. Just purely because the first one was quite a surprise to me.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what to expect from that, and because a character was taken out in a spectacular way. I'm fascinated to see what happens with that. Yeah. That's one of the things that I really want to see. Oh, American Assassins as well. I really want to see that.
Oh man, that's an 18.
Yeah. That's the one with
Michael Keaton. Yeah, that looks amazing.
I really want to see that because I reckon that film might sneak up and be a really good film for the whole month.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully that.
I quite want to see Killing Gunther.
Killing Gunther. Can't say no it.
New Schwarzenegger movie?
Yes! Yeah. I really want to see that.
What surprised me about that trailer though, he actually looks younger.
Yeah, I think it's just the way they'd cut his hair and he's got facial hair.
Yeah, I think that too. I think it's maybe makeup as well. So, you know, they've kind of like made him look a lot younger.
Yeah.
And I was kind of surprised. I was like, that's not CGI, but it looks so like fluid and, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I quite want to see that, man. But man, to be quite honest, anything Arnold's in, I will watch. Just straight up watch. I don't care. It's just Arnold, man.
That's an interesting spin on that kind of genre.
Yeah.
Which I've not seen before. So I'm fascinated to see how that how that does. And
he just looks like he's having a laugh, man.
Yeah.
He just looks like he's totally just having it up, having a laugh.
Yeah, he looks like he's having fun with that film. Yeah, that's another one I want to see as well.
I'd like to see him in more comedies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That zombie one that he did was intriguing. I'd never seen him act like that before.
Yeah, same. Look, to be quite honest, I just want Arnold in more movies, to be honest. Even if it's a small role or a big role, or, you know what I mean? Or even just going back to action movies. I don't think Hollywood are, like, they're being a bit frugal with that because of, like, what's happened with this resurgence. Because they haven't been as big as, like, you know, what they should be. But then I think, to be quite honest, just get him in one of these Marvel movies, man. Just make him fucking Doc Octopus.
That's not gonna happen, dude. It's
not, but, like, it'd be cool if he did.
Well, in that, there's a few more things to talk about, but I'm gonna cut it off here because we've gone past the hour 40 mark. So we've gone 40 minutes past the mark where I actually wanted to stop. So with that, we'll be back next week. We'll be talking about more film and stuff. As it goes, we're coming up to London Film Festival here in London, so we might be talking about some of the films that are being released on the festival run up. And yeah, that's it. Sach, where can the good people see your stuff? And
you can check my short films. Just type in Sacha Allari on YouTube and you'll find them. Or just check me out on Twitter, Sashman3. And that's about it.
That's the way to find it.
Yeah.
And if you're looking up this podcast, just go into YouTube, type in Zedos Gang, and you'll find the page with all the podcasts, past, present, and future. Well, not the future part, but yep, it's always being updated, as well as SoundCloud. You'll put in Zedos Gang as well. You'll find us on SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, and what's the other one? Stitcher Radio and iTunes. iTunes is a good one to find us on as well. Right, that's it for us. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, Sach. And this has been the Zedos Game Podcast, and we're out.